Hello everyone and welcome back to another Snow Runner episode here on the channel. Today we're going to embark on a couple of missions here where we're going to use not just the hauling truck, but we're going to use the scout truck too. So sit back, get some popcorn ready, and let's get to it. All right, here we go. Today we have Steel River Supplies. This was the mission that I accepted in the last episode. And as you can see, I am in my scout. So we're going to do this mission with the scout. And as you can see, we have some consumables and wooden planks, which means we're going to end up using a trailer. But before that, we have to pull this fuel carrier. So let's go get it. I'll see you guys down over where that carrier is, so I'm gonna head down there right now. Alright guys, so I am here, and you might recognize the fuel carrier. This is the one that's down here not far away from the oil rig. And so we're gonna see if this will even let me attach it with this truck. It should, but you never know what this game will allow and not allow, so. Alright, let's see if it'll attach. And sure enough, it does. Awesome. So, the path we're going to take is I'm actually going to go across this this rickety bridge by the oil drill, and I'm going to take this shortcut down by the lumber mill and then go to this town storage, because this is where we're going, just right over here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this a little high. Now, there is a bumper for this truck that adds weight to it, and I put it on because I knew I was going to be towing some stuff today. So we'll see how well this truck works for doing some duty, because, you know, I don't want to do every mission with the other truck. I actually want to see how many of them I can do with this one. So that's why we're going to try this town storage task here. So last week I talked a little bit about some other games, you know, Hunter Call the Wild. I talked a little bit about Farm Sim or whatever. You probably notice, you may notice that, you know, I'm going to try to have like some themes of discussion. And so today I want to talk to you guys about board games. And not just board games necessarily, but so much as tabletop games. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on that kind of stuff. Is it something that you may have an interest in or may not have an interest in? And, you know, when you talk about tabletop, people think, oh, Warhammer and that. Well, yeah, I mean, that's not the game specifically that I'd be talking about, but if you understand what that is, then you'll understand what tabletop is. I got into tabletop gaming back in early 2000. I had just got done with a 12-month run playing Star Wars Galaxies MMO, which, you know, that brings back some painful memories of a lot of wasted time. I will say that. But I needed a break from video games, so you know, I started reading comic books again and all that, and I went to this one comic shop that had this room in the back for people to play games of, you know, different kinds or whatever. And what I saw was some guys they were playing Star Wars miniatures, which was at that time the Fantasy Flight Games miniatures. Now, these you could actually buy like blind boosters from like retail stores like Walmart and Target and things like that. So it's not like the Star Wars Legion, which is, you know, the the bigger game that's out today. This was a, you know, these were pre-painted, and you had, you know, maps or whatever that you could either find or whatnot. And so I kind of got into that and started playing with a group. And I come in one day and they're not playing Star Wars. They're playing this Mech Warrior game called Mech Warrior Clicks. It's a thing that came out with WizKids. And so, not to be confused with BattleTech. I mean, it's the same universe, but it was like future. Everything was pre-painted. It was a click base. You know, it came out from WizKids. And you know, I kind of fell in love with it. These things were huge, you know, as far as miniatures games goes. It was one-on-one, it was tournament-based, you know, we played 3 rounds and that kind of stuff, and then you win prizes, and I sort of got into it. And I sold all of my, traded away or sold all of my Star Wars minis, which I didn't have a lot anyway, and kind of got into the Mech Warrior stuff. I still played the Star Wars game because one of our guys had literally everything, so just, you know, just played with the ones that he had because he had so much of it, and he didn't care. I mean, he brought a lot of that stuff with him. He was sort of our battle leader, if you will, the guy who sort of ran the games. And you know, I sort of fell in love with this Mech Warrior game, and I played it for a while. You know, I didn't win that many matches. I lost a lot, and I'm a very competitive guy, you know, when it came to that kind of, you know, when it comes to games in that regard. You know, when it comes to tournaments, you know, I want to win. And I ended up, you know, meeting, you know, a couple other guys that had another, that sort of was running their own, you know, games also. And so, you know, I sort of took a break from the guys I was playing with and was playing with this other group. And it was at that point that I actually learned a lot about strategy and army building and things like that. I mean, the main group that I played with, you know, we had a guy that you know, would win most of the time because he was just that good. You know, he was very, you know, good with building armies and understanding the, you know, the mechanics of the game and everything. And I kind of wanted to be that person. I wanted to understand a lot of that. So when I went to the other group, that's sort of what I worked on. And one of the guys sort of helped me with army building and whatnot. Whew. The first time I've ever ran into a little spot here. There we go. Come on. And so, so I learned a lot, and I won a lot of matches. Now, granted, I played with a lot of new people, so I was kind of helping teach them to play. But at the same time, I was learning a lot from this, this guy. He was the level 5 battle master. Basically, they had different levels of, you know, people running games. So he was kind of like a regional representative kind of person. And of course, they played other games too, you know, and occasionally I'd check that out. But I still played with my core group. It just, you know, they were at the other store. So I just kind of switched off back and forth. But I'd be at the other store playing like Axis and Allies or playing Star Wars or whatever. And I was playing Mech Warrior at the other place. And I started building my collection over time. You know, new sets started coming out. And I remember I went to Wizard World, Texas. Gives you an idea where I was at the time. And I went to Wizard World, Texas with the idea that I wanted to play in my first big tournament. And I showed up, you know, thinking that these guys were going to be there, and none of them showed up because I guess they didn't realize there was a tournament there. So there was only one other player there. So he and I played. He beat me. I won. They have an award called a Fellowship Award. So I won the Fellowship Award. He won first place, and we both walked out with factory sets of, you know, one of the expansions that come out. So I ended up with this huge box full of minis from an older set that I'd never played with. And you know, I thought that was kind of neat. You know, I put this in auto now. That, you know, I won this thing, and now I have like even more stuff. And then an expansion had come out with one unique that was a new faction that was being introduced in a future expansion, and it was the Rasselhag Dominion. Which, you know, if you're not familiar with it, it's okay. These are all like BattleTech names, right? So there was Clan Ghost Bear, and then there was Rasselhag. I think it's House Rasselhag or something like that. Well, they joined in this time period. They both had joined each other, so hence Rasselhag Dominion. And I was like, this is cool as hell, right? All right, so we're here. We'll get back to that in a minute. Now I'm going to disconnect. Oops. Because I have to. And hold on, let me make sure I got it. There we go. And so, you know, now I got to and so now, you know, I got this unique, and I was like, this is dope. This is a really cool mini. It's, you know, it's a Kodiak mech, and it was really cool. The sculpt was great. The stats were good, and it was unbelievable. All right, so before I continue on with that, I need to go back to the garage because I need to get a trailer specific for my truck. Now there is another trailer store, but it's way up here, out of the way from where I'm going to be going. So because I need consumables. Now I do need wood, but I need consumables, which are at the farm, which, you know, is close to the garage. So I'm just going to go back to the garage real quick and get that. So I will see you guys at the trailer store. All right, so I'm right here at the trailer store, so let's see what we can get. Go ahead and turn that off for now. So we should have access to some Gooseneck trailers also. So we got the standard Scouts. There's also a Gooseneck trailer. Now a Gooseneck fits right over into the back of the truck like that. Now this one is that's a log trailer, which, you know, that's a little much, but it should not be able to pull anything that big. But we're going to look for a Gooseneck trailer that's a small one, not one of these huge ones here. We're going to look for one that just takes two, just so we can test out these log trailers. And I meant Gooseneck trailers, I'm sorry. We're going to find a 4-slot Gooseneck trailer. If they even make one. Because this is the IR, and I'll have the link down in the description if you guys want to check out this one. I had a different set of trailers that were Gooseneck, but they didn't work with this truck, so I switched them out for this one. Ooh, wow, they got a medium log one. That's good. So let's see. So it doesn't look like they have. So this, that's log. So they all with the IR on it. I don't need a 6-slot trailer. That's just too big. Make sure I didn't miss anything. They call this a short flatbed, but it's a 4-slot trailer. I mean, it's 5,300. This one is lifted versus not, so we'd probably go with the lifted just to make sure. I suppose we could go with that one and then just get it all and just hope that we can pull it with this truck. All right, let's do it. Let's see if we can earn that stuff, and I'll keep this trailer if it works, so that way I don't have to. I'll just store it somewhere. All right, let's do it now. This, like I said, this is a Gooseneck, so right in the middle there. All right, let's go. I'll see you guys over at the farm. All right, I'm pulling into the farm now. So far, so good. Definitely going to be using the low plus, I think, with this. Once we start getting it all loaded up. Yeah, let's see what we got here. So we need consumables, and we only need 2. Uh-oh. Accidentally put an extra one in there. So if this ever happens to you, you can actually remove cargo. You hit the remove cargo button, and then all you have to do is click on the one you want to remove. Well, I think you have to unstrap them first, so let me unpack them real quick. Oh wow. And then we're going to remove this one. Come on now. Didn't want to let me remove it. There we go. Done. Okay. For some reason I had to use my my controller for that. That's not exactly how I wanted to pack those, but okay. Now another good thing about this truck, or about this trailer, is we can actually haul trucks with it, because you can see we've got ramps back there. So we can actually change the ramps. Oh, there's even a suspension mode for my truck to kind of lift it up a little bit, which honestly makes it level. So we'll just leave it like that. Alright, I need to turn around, so let me see if we can sort of turn this thing around. I'm going to put it in low high here. We're going to have to go around the totem pole here. The pole. So now we're going to head over to the lumber mill and get the wooden planks. Alright. So, but yeah, so I really like this Kodiak. So when the expansion came out with this faction, you know, I was all over it. But it ended up, the way it ended up is the click dial values were completely different than that initial one that I had. Basically, they were kind of like berserker dials. So they started off low, and a little bit before they would basically be out of commission, they would hit their prime. And it really kind of threw people off. I had people literally giving me pieces because they didn't want to get them. They didn't want to keep them. And, you know, this is a game where everything's in blind boxes unless you buy a factory set or something. So, you know, they would buy booster boxes, and, you know, for however much it was at the time. And if they pulled a Rasselhag Dominion piece, some strange reason, I would end up with it. So I actually I still have all of my MechWarrior stuff from those years ago. And I have every Rasselhag Dominion piece except for 2. There was a long time where there was a third piece that I wanted, and only one person that I knew had it, and this was the guy who, you know, wins everything. And it was one of those pieces that he really liked to play with because it's the pilot's ability basically allowed him to have almost unlimited artillery strikes, which was, you know, a pretty interesting strategic move. I ended up trading away One of the pieces that it was a piece that I had for a while that I didn't want to give up, but I ended up giving it up just so I could get that one. But I had fun, you know, it was a game that I really liked to play, and it was, you know, it's not one of those single player type games. You got to play with other people. There was another game, the tabletop game that I played, and based on a video game, so you guys might get a kick out of this, but you know, when Halo 3 came out, they also came out with a tabletop game called Halo Action Clicks, and I have that game, and you could basically play it without having like a mat or whatever. Everything's just 1-inch measurements, but I have everything. I only have like, I have enough for maybe 2 people to play, but man, that's one game I actually wouldn't mind getting a hold of a lot of pieces for, because it was fun. It was really like playing the video game. You had spawn points, you got, you know, kills, you could upgrade your pieces to, you know, a better one. You could play red versus blue or green. You could play against the aliens, although I didn't have that many aliens, so for me it's more like red versus blue. You had Master Chiefs, they had snipers, they came out with all kinds of stuff for it. And I didn't have like I said, I didn't have everything, so I didn't have any snipers or anything. I had some melee guys, I had some, you know, that were kind of cloaked or whatever. I had red versus blue and green. I had some aliens, a couple of Master Chiefs, and I had I can't remember her name, but I had one of those important characters from the series, and if you had her in your army, you could distribute. You basically would be down a person, because you would never deploy her, but basically you could distribute your points any way you want, so you could be able to upgrade any of your pieces, because the way the game rules were, you know, whichever piece got the kill got the points. So if you had her in your army, then she would allow you to do what you wanted with her, which is kind of cool. But you run it at a risk of being one less person on the field, because you didn't want to take her in the field. You wanted to keep her protected. It was fun. I liked it. I mean, I played a lot of different stuff then, but then, you know, like things go, you know, we moved back here to the up north to Missouri, and then I kind of went back to video games, and then it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I got back into tabletop to some extent. Now, I haven't played a tabletop game since, you know, then, but I collected a lot of stuff, and, you know, back then I didn't have to paint anything. Everything was painted for me. Stuff now, I gotta paint everything. So I got an Aliens board game. Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. I got the expansions and everything. So I've been working on painting that. And if any of you see my Instagram, you've seen a few of them I posted. I've had it for over a year and a half, and, you know, if it wasn't for my busy schedule, I would have had it painted a year ago. Right now I'm working on the actual the military unit, you know, because it's based on the Aliens movie. So, you know, I'm working on the soldiers for that, and then still have Ripley and Nuke left to do, and then the power loader and the Alien Queen. So I have a little bit left to do, and then I'll have that done, and then I'll be playing it. And so I guess what I want to know is, would you guys want to see like recorded matches of me playing that? Because they have missions, and then they have bug hunts. You can't play every character, but, you know, we could have a random draw of characters and sort of go from there. Actually, you know what? Let's go in from that side, so that way we can leave out of that side. If I can get around this. Good. So far, so good. see how well this will move once I get it loaded with those planks. Yeah, so I do have Star Wars Legion, and I have Marvel Crisis Protocol. And a lot of that, none of that stuff's really been painted. I painted a Captain America. I did paint Iron Man, but I stripped him, so he's no longer the same color as he was in the Instagram pictures. Here we go, we got one wooden plank, the other wooden plank. There we go, we are full. Alright, so here we go. And so I've just, I'll be working on those here pretty soon. And I have 2 Kickstarters I'm waiting on right now. Zombicide Undead or Alive, which is basically Zombicide Western theme. I think it's going to be really cool. So I'm debating on whether I want to do an unboxing video or some kind of unboxing thing for that. And then later in the year, I'm getting Six Siege. Well, Six Siege is based on Rainbow Six Siege. So these are board games with miniatures that I have to paint. I'm sorry, I mean, I might play Zombicide without painted miniatures because believe it or not, I'm going to have like 200 figures for that game. It's going to take me a while to paint them all. But the other one, I may or may not play. Well, I'll probably play a couple matches, you know, not recorded or anything, with my son, with them not painted, while I am painting some of the characters. Because we got, for Six Siege, I got basically all the operators through year 5 came in the expansions that I picked. I bought what they call, because these are Kickstarters, right? I bought what they call Trooper Level, which basically gave me all the operators and all the maps. Oh man, it's gonna be so much fun. But I'm looking at starting a second YouTube channel. I already have it, I just haven't produced anything yet. And it's called Battle Master Gaming. And if you guys are interested, I won't post it in this week because like I said, I don't have anything there. There's no videos or nothing. I haven't set anything up yet. I don't have any logos. I created the channel like a few months ago. So I'm still in the planning stages, but if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, you know, let me know in the comments down below. And, you know, if you like them, if you like tabletop gaming in general, go ahead and hit that like button too. But yeah, so let me know in the comments if that's something you guys are interested in, because the idea behind what I'm going to do with this channel is it's not going to be, you know, just a channel full of battle reports, although there will be some in there. You know, I want to have like lengthy discussions about game strategy and that. So not only do we discuss the games themselves, but actually talk about, you know, the strategy of winning matches. Whether it's a Zombicide game or Aliens, or hell, we can talk about BattleTech, because I have some BattleTech miniatures too. We can look at army building for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and you know, not just look at, you know, what everybody's playing in tournaments, but actually have a discussion about, you know, how could you build an army with some of the more not as used pieces and actually make them work. All right, let's turn this in. Here we go. Boom, there we go. Bill River Supplies is done. All right, so with that one being done, the next one we're going to do is, we can't do any more of these because these are all log missions, and the very first one has us going to Smithville Lake, which we're not doing. Aid to the island means island. Timber at arm's reach means we're going to Smithville and Island Lake. And the last one, timber for the locals, This one we could technically do because it's all local here. Lumber mill, farm, and town storage. But we'll tackle this another day. But what we're gonna do now is pipe dream. This means we gotta take the heavy fuel tanker from the gas station over here to the factory over there. And then we have to take bricks and a metal beam. So we could probably do this, or we can try to tackle this part with the Scout. But we have to use the other truck for this one. So we're gonna do that. Now, where do we get bricks from? None other than this warehouse over here. Now, I believe this warehouse also has the metal beams. Yeah, so we can get both the metal beams and the bricks from one location. So that's where we will get those for this truck. So I'm gonna drive this one back to the garage because I got a trailer on it, so I don't want to lose the trailer here. We'll switch over to the other truck and get the heavy fuel tanker and take it over there. So I will see you guys back at the garage. All right, so I made it back. Got the garage over here. I'm gonna turn in from this side so that way I can have an easier way out. Try to knock this fence down a little bit. I've also turned on Immersive Mode, which I keep forgetting to turn on, by the way. If you guys don't, if y'all don't know, I can talk right today. If y'all don't know, Immersive Mode came out when Hard Mode came out, so basically, you know, everything's still there, you just can't see it. So in order to see it, you have to do, like, there's like a certain gesture you gotta do on here, I think, to show it. But if I want to see what the mission is, all I gotta do is go into here and I can see, you know, what it is in the upper right corner there. So I'm gonna turn off the motor here and I'm going to switch over to my other truck. And you can see I already have the high saddle on this because that's what I need in order to pull that trailer. So I'm going to head over to the gas station now and get hooked up to the gas trailer there. All right, so I'm here at the gas station and I'm just going to back up and hook up to this trailer right here, and then attach. All right, so now I got to go to the factory. So if you guys don't know where the factory is, it's in. It's right up here. And sort of at the farthest area. Now, we drove by here when we were doing some other stuff. Whenever we were doing the scouting and stuff. So, not too bad of a trip. You know, we go across here. But we try to stay on the pavement as much as we can. And it'll be right on over there. A few dirt spots along the way. But overall, the ride should be pretty straightforward. We are going to go into high, though, to make sure that we don't have any issues here. This is a heavy tanker, and it is full, not empty. So you know, so I'm thinking about, you know, doing that second channel. I don't know when it'll happen. It's you know, it's not anything being rushed at the moment. It's just you know, I'm in that planning stage, as I said before. There is one other thing I want to talk to you guys about, and that's about live streaming. As you guys may or may not know, I did one live stream here on YouTube back when I hit my first 100 subscribers. And the original goal was to... Oh, alright, I got distracted by that. That was the first time I'd really... that I remember ever having that kind of a issue. That trailer is awfully crooked. Just I got hung up in something back there. At any rate, so I wanted to talk about live streaming. So, if you guys didn't know already, and some of you may know, I was a Twitch streamer for about 8 years. It was 8 years this month, actually. I took a hiatus back in April, and I sort of had announced that I was retiring from doing it. We probably even talked about this a few episodes back, too. But a lot of it had to do with a combination of multiple factors. One of them, you know, having to stop to go pick my daughter up from work. There's also some mental stress, mostly from work-related stuff, not from the streaming side of it. From the streaming side of it, it was, you know, playing games and just, it was one of those things where I felt like I couldn't play a video game unless I was live or recording. And, you know, so I had to take this extended leave. And so, you guys, you know, you did know I did have a gap here between videos for a little bit. Even between the last set of videos, the last set of videos before I even started playing SnowRunner, it was probably about a month gap, and it was during that time period that I was sort of dealing with a lot of this stuff. And, you know, I don't equate it to anything more than just being burnt out and just needed some time, you know? And so now I'm thinking about going live again. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to go back to my Twitch channel or go live here? Now, regardless of that, I'll still be recording content here. So we're still going to be playing SnowRunner. Now, as far as like the live content won't have anything to do with SnowRunner necessarily, because I want to keep this as a recorded series. Not to say that I couldn't like do something else, play another map with one of my other saves or something. But I also considered using that as an opportunity to work on my tabletop stuff. But not necessarily like playing the game, you know, doing the battles or whatever, but actually painting. So if you guys, you know, have any interest in seeing me paint miniatures and just us chilling and having a good conversation. I mean, granted, we could do Hunt or Call of the Wild. I could do Farm Sim. I have other, you know, I have video games that I can do. But I want to expand the channel to accommodate the things that, you know, are dearest to me. And I just love to hear you guys' interest in it, you know, your input, because it's at the end, you know, those are the ones that are watching. I mean, I enjoy doing this. You know, I enjoy recording and editing and everything, and you know, putting stuff out for you guys to enjoy. But I do have a lot of different passions, so I'm trying to find the right mechanism to maybe join some of them together. Now I do have you know, I'll be straight. At the time of this recording, I do have a bigger following on Twitch than I do here, but some of you follow me on both. But that's not necessarily the reason why I would pick it over this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there's you know, my content over here, you know, I can record it, you know, stream it, record it. You know, there's a lot of things I can do with the content here as opposed to over there. So it's one of these sort of decisions as a small content creator, you know, of what I think would be good for the channel and good for the growth. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. You know, what do you guys think? And trust me when I say your opinion does matter to me. even if it's, you know, not positive. I'm all about growth. I'm all about growth. All right, so we're slowly getting our way over here, as you can see, getting through some of those areas. Even though I'm in the concrete area here now, turn off the all-wheel drive unless I think I need it. Helps with the fuel economy. We're slowly making our way there. Back into all-wheel drive. Get a little bit of dip block in there just to make sure we get through some of this. I mean, it's not really mud so much as it's just sort of sunken dirt over there. That off now. Did I pick the wrong time to turn that off? There we go. I lost that momentum for a moment. Kind of see that little yellow sign. We're getting that much closer. We are still on our trek to get to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Originally, you know, I'd set that goal of, you know, streaming once I hit 1,000, but, you know, with this discussion of streaming now, I might not wait. Alright, I'm going to stop this for just a second. Make sure that okay. So we are going to go that way. You can tell that, you can see that front end is up a little bit. Wow. There we go. Got that momentum going. Yes, so I'm not opposed to going live, you know, I'm not opposed to going live here or there or just both, but now as far as like how many days I would do it, I'm only looking at maybe 2, maybe 3. Not a lot. It's probably going to be like a weekend thing. Still sort of working at all the details out. It won't happen right away. It's just something that I'm sort of planning out. So probably wouldn't happen at least for another month or so, regardless of where, which direction I go. And a lot of it has, you know, some family factors involved. So at this point, I'm just planning things as opposed to like setting stuff in stone and all that. So at this point, it's just a discussion. So that's why, you know, I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on it. I want to be just good with recorded stuff, you know. Like I said, the recorded stuff's gonna be here anyway. Now I am thinking about trying to do some YouTube shorts. I don't know anything about doing those, so it's a research thing. So if you start seeing a bunch of shorts showing up in the feed, it's I still have all of my well, I wouldn't say all. I have the majority of my recordings from hard mode. I have a lot of them still. And I could probably make shorts out of a bunch of them, along with other content that I've done in the past, and including maybe even content from here, so. Alright, so with that being said, you can see now that it's gone. It's no longer listed under Pipe Dream up there, so I'm going to disconnect. Like that. Pull my truck out of the way. So to make sure I'm clear and out of the way of that. Alright, so now the plan is I'm going to go back to the garage to my scout truck, and we're going to take the gooseneck. Get away from this buzzing sound here. We're going to take the gooseneck trailer and go over to the warehouse, the other warehouse. Not this one, not the factory, but we're going to go down to this warehouse right here and get the 2 bricks and the metal beams. We're going to see if we can transport that much weight, because those metal beams weigh a lot more than those wooden planks do. But anyway, I'll see you guys back at the garage. Alright, here we are. And we're going to head over to the warehouse. Now, I would take my shortcut and go up that hill, but I don't know if that's going to work with this trailer. So we're going to actually try to drive through that mud and muck. So this is going to get interesting really quickly. I will see you guys at the warehouse. All right, I have arrived at the warehouse here, and didn't have any issues that I couldn't accomplish with the truck here. Now I'm gonna sort of go around and to where I'm facing out of the entrance here, so sort of go this way, and this way it'll be easier for me to do before I add all the weight in. Okay, there we go. Now we're facing out. All right, so what we need bricks. We need 2 of them. And then we need 1 metal beam. There we go. There's the load. Here's the truck. And now we're going to go to the factory. Now, there's a few different ways to tackle this. I could go down this way. This is very swampy. And as much as I would like to tackle that, I don't think I'm going to. Not with this much of a load on this truck here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cross over here, and then I'm going to just take the normal path around. I think it would be the safest way for me to do that with this truck, and it's still going to be a challenge regardless of how we do it. But at any rate, let's look at the time here. It is should be okay. All right, let's do this. Now I am going to put it in low high as soon as we get a little bit farther along here. We'll go ahead and do it now. It's going to be kind of slow going, you know, but that's the way we need to travel with loads like this. We don't need everything whipping around. So what do you guys think of this scout truck? I'm digging it so far. Very nice. It is rated pretty high. If you guys are into the mods and stuff, it is a different kind of truck than the stock one. So it's not like it's a stock one that's been revisioned. It's a completely different body type and everything. So I do like the fact that this one has a lift kit on it, so at least I can keep it level. I do like that. The fact that I can use these Gooseneck Trailers is pretty cool. We might even try this with maybe the medium logs. See how that is compared to using the other truck. Now this will be the last mission here, so I'm going to make sure I get this right. Next week, well, I should say the next episode, we will be tackling the oil rig and oil drill equipment. Not a drill for the mission pipe. That's always a fun one, you know. Moving that really big trailer, and it's at the factory where we're going. And of course, I got to do that with the other truck. This one, yeah, this one's not going to pull it. You need a hide saddle for that, I'm pretty sure. That's not something I can do with this truck. So we'll be taking the other one and getting that over across that wooden bridge and getting it onto the oil site. And then after that, we're going to actually maybe take some time and go after some of these things that we have on the map that we haven't went for yet. We can actually go get that other truck that's north. In fact, we can probably use this trailer with either one of these trucks. You can use these goosenecks with the, I believe it'll work with the low saddle on the other truck. So we can either take the other truck or take this one and go rescue that GMC, I think it's a GMC, that Chev, or no, the C70 that we have to the north here. Stuck in the mud pretty good. All we gotta do is tow it onto the trailer and trailer it out. As opposed to just, using recovery or whatever. It's not tied to a mission that I can think of. I don't think it is. Alright. Now we're on our way. Sort of the same basic path we took with the other truck. Go ahead and turn the headlights on since it's gonna get to the dark side before we get there. And I will say that I will be planning some night missions too that I'll be tackling. Maybe some stuff in Smithville Lake. Once we get over there, we'll do some night missions. Just so we kind of have a little mix of gameplay here. It's not all daylight. Night driving in this game can be a little bit, it can be a little bit difficult if you don't know the map, but also for recording, I want to make sure you guys can actually see the game. Instead of just having pitch darkness with a little bit of light coming out of it. So we'll pick the right moment to do that. I don't think you guys will like it. At least I hope you will. So I pretty much asked a lot of you guys today, you know, different things that are on my mind. But, you know, also, I guess to add on to it, one last thing, depending on it, you know, if you're watching all of this or only part of it, you know, what do you think of these little discussions? You know, do you like hearing, you know, me just sort of ranting about things? It's not really ranting so much, it's just talking. Just talking about topics of interest to me. Hope that you guys like it. You know, if there's topics that you want me to talk about in the videos, you know, add those in too. I mean, if you want to hear me talk about stuff about SnowRunner, about what I think of this game or whatever, I mean, I could certainly, you know, have that discussion. And you want to talk about other video games, you know, my feelings about certain things. Now, there's certain topics I probably won't talk about, but, you know, we'll tackle that when the time comes. Now, I haven't read anything lately on SnowRunner. I need to try to get onto Reddit once in a while and just sort of see what's going on out there. But, so as soon as I have any like news or anything that I can dig up, I'll post a video, you know, separate from this. As you guys have seen some of those news videos I've done. Not something I do often because, you know, it's only one game. But I could, you know, talk about other things. Speaking about, you know, new stuff I heard today. So today is the start of CMON, C-M-O-N. They are the makers, or sort of the people behind Zombicide. They came on today and showed off a new character pack expansion that'll work with the second edition. And it's of none other than The Boys. If you don't know what that is, it's a comic book series, but it's also a TV show on Amazon. And it's 2 main packs and then 1 Abomination box. The 2 main packs is, you know, you have The Boys, which has, you know, all of them, including the dog, which I think was in the TV series, but I know is part of the comic book. And let's see, and then you have the 7. And one of the unique things is Starlight is in both packs, different outfits. And now they didn't put translucent as far as like an empty like just like an empty base or something to represent the 7. What they did do is they put Soldier Boy in. Soldier Boy's in there, even though he's, I guess you could say, technically not one of the 7. But I think he is in the comic book or something. I don't know. I've never had a chance to read the comic. And the Zombicide box has another sculpt of Homelander. So apparently the 7 can all play Abominations. So in that, I think in that box you get the Abomination cards for the 7. And one of the things that they talked about with the 7, right, is that they're like OP. But they're OP with quirks, right? So they can accidentally kill, not accidentally, they can literally kill survivors and zombies at the same time. Like if you got a guy in front of you and one of the characters goes after the zombie, it'll just straight up kill you too. Which, you know, that's that's gonna make for an interesting game mechanic. But they said it was for a second edition Zombicide, which, you know, is out there retail. I don't own that copy. You know, I have the Western one coming here in a month or so, but I plan on getting the second edition. But even if I didn't, I would just paint those just to put up on a, you know, put in a case or something, because I think that'd be so cool. Love the show on Amazon Prime. So if you haven't seen it yet, you should watch it. Keep in mind though, it is not for children. It is an adult show on superheroes. Think of it as like superheroes with, you know, issues. And they're sort of being controlled by a marketing company. I'll just leave it at that. There's no such, from my perspective, there's no such thing as a good guy. Even they're heroes, they're not. They are, but they aren't, if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, so they just did the pre-order today. I guess it's going to be out for a month, so I think I'm going to end up ordering it from them probably in a couple of weeks, just so I make sure I secure my copy. Now, they're not actually going to, you're not going to get it until like the spring of 23, but, you know, we order them now so that way they can plan the manufacturing process. I guess last year they released the Ghostbusters pack, and I would have loved to have gotten it. I just didn't have the money at the time. I think now the only way to get it is on the secondary market on like eBay or something. That would have been kind of neat too. But I guess they're supposed to be making another announcement tomorrow, so at 1 o'clock Eastern time, they're going to be making another anniversary announcement, so we'll just have to wait and see what that is. Alright, so we're pulling up to the thing here. We're going to turn this in, and you'll see that fuel carrier disappear. You can see the other one that we have to haul on the next episodes right there. So here we are. Boom, all done. We now have this warehouse available for us if we need anything. Now, what kind of stuff do they have here? They have stuff like service spare parts, and that's pretty much it. That's all I carry here. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm probably going to get rid of the trailer. If I need it again, I'll just buy it again. So with that, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more SnowRunner content, maybe even some other content as well. And I'll see you in the next mud pit.